Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed you. Hey! It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Let me do your hair. You see, I got my hair did. Y'all see that?
I see.
You seen it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Yes, Kendra, we were in the salon all day yesterday, erasing doing what we call it, the magic eraser. She did a good job. She did a good job.
Yes, she did.
Welcome everybody to America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. That's right. The dumbest that people say about black hair. 137 episodes in, and this one is a good one. As all of the podcasts are pretty good. We've been doing very good. This year the podcast has done pretty good. We're winding down 2024. And so this particular episode is questioning, are influencers losing their influence? Because the uptick used to be the word. But now, I don't know if influencers, we got some, we'll go into a little bit more, but the influencers are in a very interesting pickle, given AI. And so I'm sure, they have their say so and what they're going to do to try to stay alive because, they don't want the AI taking over. So sure, they're going to be using that. So tonight we find this episode very much in need because our goal as we wrap up and get everybody ready for 2025 is to encourage people, number one, to continue to use social media, but these particular series are about helping you navigate your way through so much information, because if we thought the internet was full of information now, we know that with the incoming of number, what number will he be? Let's see.
47.
He's going to be 47. Oh, that's about how old I am. Y'all like liar, pants. Look at Cheryl. So number 47 is coming, into office. So we have 4 interesting years of number 45 and his cronies. And so look at Cheryl. So we find it befitting that we just kind of help everybody navigate through social media because people are going to be turning to it probably now more than ever. And number 45, soon to be 47, he used a lot of social media and influencers to influence his way into the White House. What do you think about that? Particularly, I don't know his name, Jeff. Okay, so y'all know Jeff. So homeboy Jeff, so Jeff with all the 46 million, the white guy Jeff. So he was on there with Jeff.
Rogan?
Jeff Rogan. I was gonna say Joe Rogan. Look at me. God, don't get that. Is it Joe? Is it Joe? It's Joe Rogan?
Rogan.
I said that with confidence. Y'all did y'all see that? I was like, Jeff. Jeff. She's like, who's Jeff? I'm like, Jeff, Anyway, I try to keep up on current events, but I have you ever listened to Joe Rogan? I'm calling him Jeff. I don't care what y'all say his name. His name is Jeff.
I don't listen to a lot of. If I'm gonna listen to white males, it may be somebody a lot older than him. Mm-hmm. I just don't find them interesting.
No. Okay. So anywho, that is how they were able, I'm not saying it was the way, but it definitely was what they call it, the tipping point.
Well, they needed to pull out younger males, Gen Z males.
And so, what's up, Sandra? So, here's the thing that I found interesting about the use of social media, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know, what's up, what's up, Let's Get Fabulous, and how you doing? I am CFT over on Instagram. I just found it. I knew something was up, you know, as I drove through certain parts of, you know, the greater Cleveland and the outskirts, you know, the suburbs. And I did not see any of those Trump signs. I said, something, something just ain't. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Did anybody else feel that way? I knew something was going on, but I would have never thought that it was the social media is where number 45, so to be 47, you know, he
Right.
used that to, you know, gain some influence. And for those of you who are in the business of hair, and definitely when I remember the dumbest shit that people say about black hair, this particular podcast is for the consumers. Now, I was shocked that that was a tipping point. I don't know why, but it just was. What was your thoughts to discover that that interview definitely helped? You should mention something about he had to reach those guys. So
Mm-hmm. I don't know about if it was anything substantive that they were saying. I think that they understood because of his fundamental rhetoric, content, and you have to remember that demographic is now not only moving to conservatism, they're moving into conservative circles that have a very strong kind of alpha male type. So it's the type of person that's doing the content, not the content numbers.
oh, so he was just basically
He just
was vibing with his tribe, basically.
right.
Okay.
Well, they're actually not men who Joe Rogan would hang out with, but the listener would like to hang out with alpha males. That's their attraction to the MAGA movement. That's their attraction to Trump. That's their attraction to Joe Rogan types. This generation is very extremely insecure. This is probably the most.
So that makes this topic of our influencers losing their influence. So it's very befitting because I find it interesting that they even would use the term influence or influencer for people who
Who are following.
Right. Yeah. I just want to make abundantly clear while we have, you know, all 20,000 people in the chat. What's up? I just want to say we have to go on the record. All right. Cheryl Morrow, aka the Hair Oracle, and Ladosha Wright, aka Key Lolo. We are not, nor will we ever be influencers. And Cheryl, can you explain to everyone why we are not? Because people will say, I'll see people out. I will admit, their social media has definitely gets you noticed. I don't want to say notoriety, but it definitely gets you noticed. But why? Can you share with everybody why we are not influencers and will never be influencers?
I don't mean to kind of be snooty, but
okay, everybody on Instagram, what's up, Rotique? What's up, Shrell? How you doing? C. Howard. Yeah, okay. What's up, Miss Howard? How you doing? Y'all just brace yourself for the ultimate rare. Y'all know who Stetsasonic is? Then y'all know what I'm saying. Brace yourself for the ultimate rare. So Cheryl is going to explain to you guys why we are not, nor will we ever be influencers.
I just don't belong to a bird that flocks. They're like eagles. You never see, when you see eagles, you don't see 10 eagles. You only see one, barely that. I'm just not. I'd rather tell the truth, and I think that is much more of an isolation kind of energy. You know, I mean, I'm comfortable with just, and if people, and I think you too. I mean, you're comfortable with saying things that are probably not popular, but they're going to help move, you know, people who are interested in the truth. And we have to tell a lot of truth in Black hair care because there's a lot of pseudo intellectualism.
Pseudo intellect. We learned that word a couple of episodes ago. Again, welcome everybody. We are 137 episodes in, and tonight it is all about our influencers and losing their influence. So, welcome Facebook, welcome LinkedIn, YouTube. We see you, Sandra, our virtual co-host. Always so nice to have you, and then of course all the lovely, lovely people over on Instagram. So we have a couple of people, on the various platforms. How many of you guys?
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Mhm.
You of all people, just to answer for Miss Key Lolo, she may not say this. She is very picky, and you have to kind of like have generalized taste to be an influencer. She's you so damn picky.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, for one, I mean, right. Cheryl definitely keeps it real. I agree with you. The other thing is that influencers, their primarily goal is to sell things.
Yeah.
And so I mean, hold on now. Hold on, Instagram family. Hold on, LinkedIn family.
I know what you
on.
ready to say.
Wait up. Now, Sandra, you know you are virtual co-host. You know what I'm about to say, right? Sandra, like, go on. If Cheryl can keep it real, then Key Lolo can keep it real. So here we go, boutique, okay, LLC. I definitely am in the business of making money.
Absolutely.
But something about, sitting on a platform and just sell. Now there's a need for that. I'm not knocking it, but it just ate my mojo. That's just not where I can get my little funky off. So that's my thing. Their primary goal is that they have to sell stuff because that is how they get paid. These platforms, they don't just, they don't give you money if you're just, chatty Cathy's. Our particular platform is all about what our virtual co-host just said right here. And let me just put that at the bottom of the screen. Let me give her a big round of applause because this is what we do.
Appreciate it. Well,
you know what I'm saying? This is what we do out here in these social media streets. We're about keeping it real. Also, to be honest, we're also extremely concerned about Black consumers, particularly, female parents and younger people, and now older people are just being duped, by this.
okay.
So talk about that a little bit as we talk about answer the question: are influencers losing their influence, and why this is a concern? Because this is how we ended up with this podcast anyway. Was just that.
Yeah. I think that just in the energy of the fake news about the fake news, and then real fake news, and then just people are now really, and let's be honest, there's a lot of even whoever they voted for, and if they voted for number 45, I think they're realizing that there was a lot of pseudo, and there may be some voting against their best interests, but people now really can't tell the heads of tails or make the heads of tails of what is the truth. And so the influencer is now even being side-eyed. They're being side-eyed, and people really want control over their own decisions. They don't want to be, and there's another word that's really popular now on social media. It's called pandering. And so people want to, trying to figure out, are they pandering? Or do they really actually like the product, or are they just getting paid to like it?
Right. I think that people love what they do, right? Which is, talking to people and giving out information, but the brand, because I get people reach out to me and ask me to review stuff, and but I'm not an influencer, and that little coins that they're trying to pay, I mean, something about that don't feel right. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't think they're beholden to a profession.
Yeah.
One profession. Ours happens to come with, a code of conduct, and we do have to protect the public. And
Yeah.
so, and I
would think, and you guys let us know. I mean, are you leery of a person who's always trying to sell something? So if I was an influencer, and let's just say I like lip gloss, I mean, Jesus, like, which one am I really wedded to, or am I looking at it the wrong way? So let us know. Are you leery? Or is that what you look for? Maybe that's the new way to shop, is that you're looking for the connoisseur of lip gloss, or the connoisseur, of hair care products. Are you guys, turning to those people? Are you watching those reels because you're looking for that type of information that a company necessarily can't give, let's say in a 30-second commercial? Because that could be the other thing too. But for me, like you said, I'm kind of one of those, persnickety people. And something about, just trying to always sell stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like my cousin gonna be like,
you're right. Do y'all remember Sweet Lenny?
Sweet Lenny. I don't know who Sweet Lenny is.
Good times. He used to always come.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden he got toothpaste, razors, coaching.
That's how Rashida be. What's up, birthday girl? Rashida's in the chat.
Happy birthday, girlfriend.
Yeah.
I got plenty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, right. Good times.
Right. Yeah. Always got something in the coat for sale. So that's my thing. What's up, LB? Welcome. And again, 137 episodes in, and it's all about our influencers influencing. So we have some some very interesting current events. Now, I try to pick about hair, right? But of course we got to start off. Before I went live, I saw, unfortunately, that there was another mass shooting in Madison, Wisconsin. And so it's like, these guns,
really,
we just got, it was these kids and these guns, these kids and their emotions. Adults, we have got to do something with these children and their emotions. They have already said that this was definitely a teenager. As a teenager, I always think I'm 17. I know y'all don't believe it. Shut up, Rashida. But Rashida, now we definitely act like we 16. We keep saying, okay, tomorrow we're gonna act like some grown ass women. It just hasn't happened. And I hope, I know, do you still carry the same values that you did? Like, at the core, do you still feel like you're that 15, 16, 17-year-old Cheryl, like your beliefs? And I know we grow.
I think basically.
Yeah. I read a report once that said, I think by 8, they said 8 years old, you just, it's kind of, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's not to say, you can't teach old dog new tricks. You don't grow.
Of course.
But we're just talking about the core. So at the core, I am truly a loving person. Now, have I always operated from that? No, I do now, but I'm at the core. But I just feel like with these younger people, adults, we have got to do more at reaching out, because I do feel like these platforms, these social medias, have a lot to do with what we are seeing with younger people. I know y'all like, that's what they said about the video games. That's what they said about rap music. But this is a little bit different, or am I bugging? How many people agree or disagree with me? Yeah. I mean, I know that.
I believe that the youngest generation, shall we say, on the planet at this point are, I think, and I'm using the word insecure. I think they're extremely insecure, and they are so and I don't know if it's children. I don't know if it's younger women, but I do know that younger men are extremely frustrated and insecure.
Well, one of the things it's two things that I see. I mean, for sure, as a salon owner and a person who is always volunteering their time in the community, I see two things. One, I see people who are just heavily embedded in their phones. I'm talking about the first break they get. They are on that phone on those platforms. I mean, like, blah, blah. And I'm just like, wow, So first of all, how y'all have much time, to do that? Though TikTok will get me, but I got stuff to do. So that's one. Number two, communication. I do feel that the social media somehow is an impediment for human communication, not texting one another. So those are the two things that concern me. What are your concerns when you see the consumption, or maybe you're like, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? So let's see what other people have to say. Again, the more you interact with us, we can get more people onto the platform and have healthy dialogue, because that's why this is called the dumbest shit that people say about Black hair, because it's the dumb shit that's costing people money. It's costing a lot of mental strife, a lot of mental anguish, a lot of breakdown of the things that we're talking about now. So Cheryl, how do you feel that social media is influencing or impacting, or I don't know, contributing to some of what we're seeing with the younger and older people too? Because you see the older people on here just showing dirty houses and stuff. I mean, come on, clean up y'all back. Anywho, go ahead.
I think that we could use a really good dose of humanity. There's a coffee shop sign that I said that I saw maybe about a year ago, and I remembered it. And it had a sign. You know how they have the A-frame kind of sign that you can erase and write something on it. They tell their customers, we don't have Wi-Fi. Talk to each other.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful.
Yeah. And I had a quite an experience this weekend with two late millennial Gen Zers right there together. And so me and my big brother, he's 62, I'm about to be 57, right? So we're in the car. I mean, OG out, he all in his polo, we all in the car. We getting ready to go to the Chancellor party, we
ain't nobody fresh as I miss.
Right. And so we both said, and we looked at each other like, don't you find them weird? And I'm saying, I do find them weird. And not weird like there's something wrong with them, but just some of the conversation, the convo is trash. You know what I mean? It's really
interesting. It's interesting. Also, it's like Sandra's saying, people do not talk or interact face to face anymore. That, even trying to date, that's very interesting. How I can meet a guy and he'll want to text me. You ain't about to text me. Look at me.
Wait. I know what I want to ask you guys, right? Don't you guys find it nowadays, like say, like you guys are having a conversation and people really want to be, intellectuals. And so they'll say something and you'll say, what does that look like? Explain, be more, specific. And they'll go, they will have a, like they crash out because you want them to go further.
Into a dialogue, yeah.
They do not they just like spitting out stuff. They like making that shit up as they go.
Yeah.
Stop them and you ask them a question. Baby, it's almost like you can cuss them out when you ask them, Okay. Well, what does that look like? Give me some
Yeah,
specifics.
talk about a little bit more. Yeah, so thank you guys for your responses. We appreciate it. Now remember, opinions are like cell phones, right? Everybody has one. So we're just trying to, well, we're not trying, we are having this healthy dialogue, and again, with the content about influencers, are they losing their mojo? We need to talk about it because we can just see here and some of the comments about the role or the influence of social media given these mass shootings, which were already happening, but now they're just it's like America is like the mass shooting capital of the world, which is not good. So speaking of shooting,
Wait a minute, it's a strict Christian school.
oh, I didn't see that. Oh. But you know what? When you think about the history of America, now remember, religion had a lot to do with the formation of America and guns. I know y'all like, don't say that, but it is true. It is true. I know they like, no, I'm just saying. So this is not surprising. It's actually, unfortunately, it's kind of par for the course, if you know what I mean. So here is, what was this one here? Is this the one? Look at this one here. Mission Hills barber shot while cutting hair.
What?
Yeah. So here's a barber in Mission Hills.
We're Mission Hills.
I'm not quite sure where Mission. What they say, don't cook it up, look it up.
Don't cook.
So Mission. It's in. Yeah. I thought I was going to say something. I'll look it up right quick. So yeah. So
we got a Mission Hills.
You guys have a Mission Hills. Yeah. So let's see.
Fashion Hills or something.
Okay, let's see. Mission. Oh, I'm sure they're gonna have a lot of Mission Hills because you're right, because of the article. But anywho, because I don't want to get I don't want to be fake about where it's at. But anywho, so yeah, so this barber, he was shot while cutting hair. He's paralyzed.
What?
They think so they didn't kill him, but so his mom is upset. And just to show you how real this is, it happened here, in Cleveland with Waverly's barbershop at Urban Cut. So here's a guy who went to the barbershop and he didn't have enough money to pay for the haircut. So instead of just asking for the free haircut, he attempted murder. He really did. Yeah, he really did try to shoot this barber. And by the way, the barbers, everybody that was in the barbershop, you can probably see it on Waverly's page. I don't know if he took it down or not. They were really trying to de-escalate this guy, but nope. He just, did it. But they did catch him because Waverly was not going to let this guy get away with this. So again, we're talking about influencers influencing. Now that influencer did that, but we're just showing you guys like, something is happening. I think we're just kind of missing our mark here. But as we move into the topic of beauty on a more positive or interesting note, here's another good one. Are hot showers bad for your skin and hair? Cheryl has warned us about the dangers of hot water and hot showers when we're doing our hair and taking care of our skin till the cows come home. We are staunch that you guys have no business using hot water. Now, before I took a course in Afro Hair Science, I will admit, I used to use that hot water on them customers' head. They was like, can you make it a little bit hotter? I was like, oh, sure, no problem, ma'am. They would go, oh, that just feels so good. And then when we were trained in Afro Hair Science, Cheryl and everybody, that was one of those moments. I was like, you know what? Here I go, Trish. After this class. She ain't about to mess up my hot water. Now, this lady, she bugging. How many people in the chat love hot water? Like a real hot shower, get your hair, all on your skin. So hot.
Really?
Yeah. How many people love a good old fashioned hot? What's up, Lucille and William?
What's up,
how you guys doing? Everybody on Instagram always coming through for us. How many of you all really love a hot shower? I know BFF, Monica. I know you love a good hot shower because she's the first one. I'll call you back. I'm going to take me a hot shower. So we'll just give that a few moments because, hot showers is the way it kind of loosens up your muscles and feels so good on your skin. But the question is it bad for your skin and your hair? Look at Monica. I know she was gonna say it's a must. Like Judy Blume's, we must increase our bust. If you didn't read Judy Blume, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Jesus Christ, go read the book. Okay, be a big kid again. Yes, so it's coming through, Cheryl. Everybody loves a hot shower, okay? They love a hot shower, but I'm going to show you what survey says, and then Cheryl's going to take it away. Survey says, most dermatologists agree that steaming hot showers can dry out your hair and skin, and they say, don't you do that. And Cheryl, what ye say as the Afro Hair Scientist? No hot water on hair. Talk about that. Take it away.
There's nothing wrong with loving the temperature. There's nothing wrong with loving the temperature. But you're not in a hot spring where the water is pure, or you're getting into a hot springs where there's like a mineral bath, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you do that, municipal water, and let me just say this, and I've always said to you guys, unless you have different set of pipes for your toilet, because people don't realize that tap water is the same water as in your toilet.
Cheryl, so, why you messing up the orgasm, dog? Come on now, man. Did you just say that? You know what? I see y'all.
Same water in your house, and then you guys boil that, and then you make it worse. You heat it, right?
I thought boiling took out all the, how they say boil your water when you have a water.
If it's coming out of the pipes, you might as well just keep it the same. My point is that it's not that it's the temperature. It's what has to come through the pipes that makes it come out hot, because you have to kill pathogens. So you got to have more minerals. You got to have more deposit. You got to have more calcium. You got to have more fluoride. You got to have more chlorine. You got to have all that stuff just to make the water usable. And I don't take hot showers. I take ice cold showers. I know
that's because you don't want the icky stuff coming through. Is that what you're saying?
Well, cold showers really increases stem cells. It also blood circulation and collagen. So, but
that's when they tell you to rinse your face. When you get a facial, they'll say, rinse your face with cool water. So I guess, for collagen production. So no hot shower. Now we understand that sometimes, you just take the stress off the day. But
it's good for that. It makes your muscles feel good. There's no denying that, but it's the temperature. But the problem is that the temperature that makes the water hot, your pipes are nasty.
You're bringing icky stuff.
If you were in a spa and you were in the mountains and you were in the Caribbean some damn where, then that would make sense.
If you were in Africa, ding, shameless plug. So I know Africa's like, no, our water's bad too. But y'all get where she's going, okay? So watch out for those hot showers, because when you turn that water up, you're not only bringing water, you're bringing some other icky stuff.
We're in the city.
Yeah, we're in the city, so no can do. All right.
And let me just say this. If you guys really want to know what goes into your water, take a trip, because I've been to mine. Go to your city water's facility. They'll take you a tour. They actually have tours. And y'all gonna see. So don't sit there. Every city has a water system that you can go to, and they will show you how they clean the water and what they clean it with, how they do it. And then y'all come back and tell me and get on the dumbest shit.
We don't want to know the truth. We want to be in the dark. Ain't that right, y'all? Let's be in the dark. I am with you, Sandra. Good to know about those hot showers. I'm telling you. Now, one of the things that, in the hair salon, everybody just always had like this flaky, oh, I have flaky scalp. I have dry scalp. I have flaky scalp. Oh, my gray hair is yellow. My gray hair is yellow. My gray hair is yellow. So, we were just draining Cheryl's brain for like, why is this? Why is this? So she taught us why the hot water contributes to scaly scalps and flakes and so on and so forth. But you have to come to the course next year to learn a little bit more. But when she told us that hot water was responsible for the yellow and gray hair, when I tell you, she walked right past like, oh, that's just the hot water. Anyway, we were like this. Here we go. Wait a minute, Sandra. Here we go, Trish. Here we go. We went just like this. She just walked past and say, oh, that's from the hot water. That's why the hair is yellow.
What you talking about, Will?
She messed our head up with that. And so now we wash all of our women with white hair, like mine, we don't use hot water. And I'm telling you, nobody has gray hair because all the purple shampoos, the Bantu, the yellow out, it would, it kind of got it a little, but if you wanted that pristine, like look how white mine is. Letting go of hot water, our customers have beautiful white hair. It does not cost any extra money, anything. Stop using hot water and the hair will stop turning yellow. Hence proof of what is coming through those pipes when you use that hot water. So if you have white hair or if you have gray hair and it's got that murky, that little yellow, like
or dull. Just dull.
Right. Yeah. So the hot water, we were saying, oh, maybe it's your cigarettes, man. No, it's the hot water. So that was very, very interesting. All right. So we're going to get into this topic. Okay. And it's all about, our influencers are losing their little mojo. So we're going to start off with the reality. In case you guys did, we're just going to cut through the chase. We want you guys to understand that influencers are people who are paid to sell you things. So I know that, they have a lot of information. We're going to talk about, I think we got 4 pillars here. Okay. Three. So we know that they are into awareness, but their job is to sell you something. So here we're going to show forthright matters. Okay. It's all about using these platforms responsibly. So here we go.
Hi Haley, so I'm really not trying to start anything here, but that post you just made was not only highly deceptive, it was actually illegal, and I think we need to talk about it. So for those of you that don't know, and I'm speaking to the audience now, not the influencers, because they're already well aware of this, in every single developed country in the entire world, there's something called consumer protection laws. And the agency that governs these laws may vary depending on the country. I believe in the United States, it's called the Federal Trade Commission, and in Canada, it's called the Competition Bureau. But regardless, the idea behind them is the exact same, which is consumers have a right to be protected against fraudulent deception.
Okay, so consumers have a right to be protected against fraudulent deception. And the problem with that video was that the woman had shrunk because they have to post that they are paid. Like when I talk about stuff, I make it abundantly clear that I am not being paid. I buy it myself. I'm reviewing it myself. Okay. Or if they send it to me, but they're not paying me, I will say that too. I'm very forthright. Mm-hmm. So what she did was she shrunk it down into the smallest font where nobody could see it. And so it looked like she was really giving an honest opinion. So that's the first thing, Cheryl, and I want you guys to know is that if you are watching someone who is identifying themselves as a consumer, as an influencer, whenever they begin to talk about a brand, a product, whatever, they are selling you something. So with that being said, Cheryl, let's talk about, just being forthright and why that's important for people who are watching content and may not be aware, particularly like my sister gonna kill me. I hate to do this, but my sister is really into her hair. And so she texted me about porosity. And so I gave her the answer. She did not like the response. And I said, what made you? She says, well, that's okay. I'm going to ask my doctor. And I said, oh, you don't trust my answer? And she was like, I just saw it on YouTube and I wanted to know. So, I mean, that caused a tiff between my sister and I. You see that? My own sister, who doesn't believe her sister, who's on probably one of the most reputable cosmetologists, not only in,
And come on
yeah,
now, in the state of Ohio.
yeah, I mean, I helped write a cosmetology curriculum. I have a book, I'm on a speakers review. I'm like, I'm very credible, but my own sister was like, not good enough. So let's talk about being forthright. And obviously, it's not going to work on everybody. It did not impress my sister at all. But let's talk about that, so that the viewers and everybody, because you all are change agents, you are helping us change the narrative about this. So, talk a little bit about why forthrightness is sort of lacking in these influencers.
We don't talk about it much, but usually when people ask a question, and I think you and I have spoke about it sometimes, before I answer it, I'll ask them a question, because you kind of get the kind of sensing that they're fishing. They're not really listening. They're not really genuinely. But it sounds like little sis did have a preconceived notion, and she had been exposed to social media university. And I think that she's also hid the fact, and she, believe me, this is typical. They actually have a problem, and this is the Google generation. So they are literally embarrassed for not knowing. And so the embarrassed of not knowing, even though they still need to know, they are very egoic about their internal set of the information that they do have. And so when they want to ask you a question, they are, little do you know, especially consultants. That's why hair coaching, we also said we were going to add that to the Afro Science Summit curriculum, and actually talk about how to do really good consultations to extract and really strip the customer or the client down to the bare bones, so they can actually be real and be the vessel to actually receive the answer that can ultimately help them, because they are not coming honest. It's not the fact that the listener is not being honest, even the person asking the questions not being honest.
Wow, that's very, very interesting. So Trish the Natural says, well, what about influencers that share information based on their journey or personal experience, those who have not been paid? Then they're not an influencer.
Right.
Those are people who are like Shirley and I, they have opinions. They're like cell phones. Everybody has one. And this is what we want you guys to understand. So if they're calling themselves an influencer and they're telling you that they're not getting paid, they're lying. Okay. I mean, you can say you an influencer if you want to. I mean, this is America by all means. But, technically, when you're on these platforms and you call yourself an influencer, it's pretty much implied that you're about to sell something. Other than that,
Yeah.
It's just your personal opinion. Maybe they could be aspiring to become an influencer, but and again, we're not anti. I mean, that would be stupid to say. Try to knock them on kind of how they want to make their money, but we just want you guys to know that a lot of what you are listening to is going to boil down to, at the end of the day.
And unfortunately,
Would you like to buy this cup?
And unfortunately, you guys have to understand, I think that this is the first effort, and this is why we decided to do the podcast, is that, and this is not to say that experts are better or professionals are better, but there seems to be an energy that consultant who are based on expertise, there's just certain words they're going to use and not going to use.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to ask actually more questions. They rarely are going to be just chatty patties. They're going to be just answer, just throwing up answers and just The experts are not going to do that. They're interested genuinely on how you reached a certain conclusion.
Yeah.
And right, go ahead.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's absolutely right. So the next question is that the definition that influencer that you have to get paid? The answer would be yes. Now again, it's also kind of, a rive gauche and passe and all that cool stuff to just self-ascribe yourself. I am an influencer,
Right.
and you might, they just might be making it up because they just want to say that they are one. I mean, it's not like somebody's policing the word influencer. Like, you can't use that word. You're not an influencer. You're not getting paid to do that. And that's why we're talking about this whole conversation of being forthright. Why are you calling yourself an influencer if you know in reality you ain't one?
Well, let me ask you a question, and this is a question to Trish, the natural. What would be the difference if, Trish, you came to me and you paid me for my expertise, or I'm giving you advice and it's sponsored by a company? Would you, what two would be more genuine?
Okay.
Let's say you go to the doctor and the person's there on the Pfizer high blood pressure pill, and you're getting it information for free, and you're always leaving with that high blood pressure pill that it just so happens to be the sponsor. And so the point is that what advice or advisory or expertise or information that you would receive, would it be on your own volition to tell them, and you care, and this is your heart print, this is your passion, and you're not getting paid? What information would be more trustworthy? Because it's the intention of the person listening to your question. I have to have no intention.
Mm-hmm.
And so my intention is to sell you something. And so to just jump in as soon as your mouth stops moving, and then I have a sales pitch, and not talking with you based on what I'm hearing. And that is just, and I know we don't pay attention because that's literally what's going on between us and the internet, and people we think that they're just being personable. No, they have a agenda.
Yeah, they definitely have an agenda. Now, our last two episodes that we're going to cover on the end, as we wrap up 2025. Remember, this series is all about is intelligence artificial, and as we can see, it's not. This is a very deliberate. We hope you guys are walking away with that tone as you watch these 5 series. That all of this stuff that you're watching, even our content, is very deliberate. And so we're going to be talking about shopping online. And the last one, Trish, is going to be about credibility. It is very important that we end the year on that note of credibility, so you guys just won't be duped. So her next question, Cheryl, is don't stylists recommend products they sell in the salon? Not to say that she's implying that they're influencers, but they are selling. We do sell stuff too. So what's the difference? I think that's where you're going. If I'm correct, let me know, Trish. What's the difference between an influencer, trying to sell you, some hair grease or some lip gloss, whatever, and a hairstylist trying to sell you the same thing, or your barber or your nail tech or your makeup artist? What's the difference? Because they are selling stuff as well, or we are, because we are licensed professionals.
Well, I'm selling things that I've actually studied and researched. I actually have a profession. So I have to have a certain line of products, a collection, and things that actually help me get your hair to the way I want it, and the way the customer wants it. And so that there is a pathology of satisfaction. There's a pathology of us adjusting and using something, but I'm basically here to satisfy you. And so these are things that I use in my practice. And so this would not just be about me selling it to one person, but a set of a whole, and I'm, of whole client base, but also I'm doing it as a means to satisfying you. And
Yeah, we have a relationship with you. The influencer, they don't know you from a can of paint. I mean,
Well, and I'm doing it from, I chose that set of product for a reason. And that is, and I'm not changing it every day. Somebody's not going to send me a hair cream, and just because they sent it, I'm going to use it on Ladosha or I'm going to use it on Nutrish. I mean, I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to try, because believe me, Trish, you already know how stubborn hairstylists is. They are not going for the okie doke, not the real OG ones.
Yeah, okay. We know there are some that do, but you guys get where we're going with this, right?
Right. And they got the questions, they got this, they got that. And if you're worth your salt, you're going to ask those questions because that's your clientele. And some, and that's the difference. There is a cellophane kind of a line of demarcation, so to speak, no pun intended, but there is a point to where it becomes your personal choices because you like the way it feels on the hair. You're making an expertise kind of, decision based on that. Influencers are solely receiving lip glosses, keychains, karate movies, you know what I mean? And all kind of tchotchkes. They receive tchotchkes.
Yeah, just to set
in order to, because at the end of the day, they want views.
Right.
And the person who sent them that product that they're getting ready to talk about wants their eyeballs that's attached to them. So it's a different relationship.
Yeah, kind of like what we want right now. Isn't that right, Sandra? Like we want you guys to do this. Cheryl said, do it. Show them how to do it, Cheryl. Bam. So this particular platform, there are no sales attached to it. We want to sell, like T-shirts and, think that you guys want some paraphernalia to show some support, but we don't know you guys personally. That's why we always say, when we're talking about, even giving you guys advice, if you notice, we really don't push your brand. Like you guys will ask us for like, sure, we want the damn comb. We want the book, because we don't want you guys to feel like that is what we're doing. And we can. We have a core group of people who are really in tune with us, like Live, Work, Clean. I think she trusts, but I feel like, we know y'all. But in general, that would be the difference between a professional, your cosmetologist selling you something, and an influencer. Your cosmetologist, your barber, your nail tech, your esthetician, they know your skin. They know what you need. They hear you talking. You guys have a relationship. So they can make healthy recommendations. That influencer, they have good points. Again, we're not knocking them. We're just talking about, are they losing? We're questioning, are they losing, their ability to influence? And so far they're not. We're just asking you guys to just use a little bit more discernment in your decision making as you consume or absorb or whatever you watch all of this content. All right, so here is the next one. Here is where a company said, we're not going to use the influencers, we're going to try to do this ourselves. So sure, we're going to talk about that. Bring your own influence. Here we go.
Set has never done a brand trip with influencers, and here's why I don't think it's worth the spend for brands. Up until this year, we've never paid influencers for content, and I'll always favor working with micro-influencers anyways. But the reason I think these are poor investments for brands is because usually authentic engagement is limited and formulaic content is created. The content from the trips usually have a very brief life cycle, and I've personally never been influenced to buy a product from someone on a brand trip anyways. We did strategically partner with Tinks on a Hot Girl Walk that brought in over 600 people, and it's community events like that your customers truly show up for. I'm wondering if we should host one next year. Let us know what type of event you'd like to come to.
there you have it. That's a businesswoman who said, we are not going to use influencers because the word that she's using is authentic engagement. And she found that community involvement was a lot better for her business. So let's talk about, and I think where Trish is going is a really good point. Also, again, welcome everybody on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate the support, and also do not forget to hit the thumbs up button. What about this whole authentic engagement? What can consumers look for from companies like Ladosha and Cheryl, who we're doing our own thing? We're not going to pay, an influencer to do this thing called promote this platform. What about authentic engagement? I like that word.
I think it's just it's more, shall I say, well, what did you say at the beginning of the show? It's just keeping it real. And maybe the word real, and because we don't really have any metrics, not really, on the power of, well, if you do email marketing, guys, for your customers and your clients, or if you received them, those go into a tally. And so if, like, let's say as a publisher, I went to a more hybrid model, so a little bit of print on demand, and then I did, digital, right, and subscribers. My metrics I get to actually see them because I can see where they click and how they click and what they click and how they clicked on and how many they clicked on. And the more you personally reach out, they will actually engage back. And now, let's be honest, that is an age group who does that. Honest, but like that particular young lady of the TikTok video you showed us, Ladosha, she actually has a storefront, and so 600 people. Can you imagine running in her store all the time? That's just your bottom line, or how you want to do your business. Find out what's important to you. Usually your solution is in your problem. Right?
And as consumers, what do you guys do? Are you looking for the trend, or do you like this business owner, you like the authentic engagement? Some companies are just, they're trend setters. They're going to just push the trend. They're going to hire the celebrity. They have a different, business model, which again, we are not here to police that. Yeah. Our goal for this platform, again, is to help you guys just have some responsible, when you come to make your decisions, to help you with that. And then also to be aware, as we can see, that the difference. What is an influencer? An influencer truly is a person who is going to be getting some type of compensation for the content that they push or talk about or whatever. And again, nobody's out there saying, you ain't no influencer. You can't say that. People can call themselves one and really not be one. But Shirley, we make it abundantly clear: the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel is not an influencer platform. The content is really, I think, Cheryl, you kind of summed it up when you said we need to have this catalog of information that people can refer to. And this is why we say like, share, and subscribe. So when people want information about these topics, there's a channel over on YouTube, and that's all they talk about is Afro Hair. It is America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. So next year is going to be the world's favorite podcast about Afro hair. All right, okay. So here's another video when a company misses the mark. So this company, she hit the mark. So here's a company that missed their mark using an influencer or influencer type like ad. Here we go.
Right. Why do we keep doing that? Like, it's going this way. Like, no, I'm fucking trying to straighten it down. This shit keep going like, whoop, like, no, go do what the fuck? my mama. Maybe if I do like this. No.
So I don't know if you guys saw Dyson I did a review. It is right here on the channel now. I did admit that was sent to me. That was sent to me and they wanted an honest review. I did not get paid for it. And people were like, you're partial to Rev Air. I'm partial to the science of Rev Air and Afro Hair Science. And as you guys can see, that Dyson Air Straight is not straightening, and so the company ended up pulling that down. So Cheryl, what you say about companies, we talk about authentic engagement, that they really are going after the black dollar. I mean, that's very obvious.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Those companies who are, and they accused the relaxers. Remember, they said the relaxers were targeting black women, and Cheryl said it was made for black women. I don't know that Dyson. I don't know. Cheryl, take it away. I don't even know how to say it.
Mr. Morrow said it best. In order to really study a thing, you have to do two things: respect that thing and love that thing. White folks do not have any of those for something that they do not have, unless they are directly going to make something from it. The last time I checked, it was about $17 million in my father's lifetime he spent on studies and research for his people. And that was out of the profits of the money that Black people gave him from his support of serving them and making good products over the years. And so that is what he set aside to make sure that his legacy and the information was there. But you can't trust or have faith, shall I say, not trust. You can't have faith in a group of people that do not have enough synergy experience, and they don't have the cultural affinity, the affection for you that is needed to really get good bodies of work. That, because you have to remember, the science that would make that tool work goes actually against Dyson's fundamental research.
Right. Their website is, yeah. When you look at their website, they say that aerodynamics is their thing, right? But not hair. Especially black hair.
And
I'm sorry.
And then once again, it goes against the principle that all hair is the same, and then obviously it's not.
Right. And remember that I want to point out, they did not use an influencer. They did what the young lady did, which was an authentic engagement, but they gave it that influencer-esque. There you go, Trish. You see what we're saying? So this is what the difference is. So they gave it the esque, that the person who was using that was probably like an everyday person, like an influencer who's going to approve of that. But as you can see, in their own authentic engagement, it flopped. And so Live Work Clean says when she is curious about a topic, she goes back and she watched the previous video on this channel. And then sometimes she learns something that she misses. Thank you so much. That is our goal, what she's talking about. And we're wrong. I don't take down the content before I met Cheryl, because I want people to see what happens with growth and education. I'm a self-professed pseudo intellectualism. I was really into that. I was trying. My heart was in the right place, but I wasn't aware of Afro Hair Science. I was grasping, but I was making it up as I went along. And Cheryl was like, you don't have to do that. And so that's why some of the old stuff like, that's so stupid. Yeah, I didn't know. So we want you guys to see the growth and the authentic engagement there. So thank you so much for that. So here's our last video. And this is a YouTuber giving his opinion about the state of influencers when it comes to money. All right, here it goes. Okay, guys, check this one out. Influencers ain't influencing.
Influencers are quitting social media and returning to a 9-to-5.
What you talking about, Will?
Let's talk about it.
See, here's the thing. I tell you guys this all the time, but for some reason you guys don't seem to listen. Followers do not equate to money.
Let's just think about that for a second. You have close to 1 million followers on TikTok or whatever social media platform, and you don't even have the ability to pay your bills full time.
All he posts is interview style content, him interviewing people on the street. Now, this type of content is great because he enjoys making it. He really likes doing it. Totally fine for him. But when it comes to monetization, he's having struggles because his content doesn't provide any type of value other than humor.
All right, Trish, I hope that's giving you a little clarity. This influencer thing, this is a person's livelihood. There is no way I can make enough money on it. I mean, these people are very creative people.
I don't have time to amass.
Yeah, that's all that equipment.
100 followers.
Yeah, I mean, they work really, really hard at becoming an influencer. They spend lots of money on equipment. They take courses, online courses on how to make these really cool videos. They pay for the finest apps. Y'all, we got Canva. And Cheryl has Remy. So she uses her staff from the SD monitor to help us out a little bit. So as you can tell by our what they call thumbnails, we doing this stuff ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So these are two different people, and you have to understand that the pool of that black hole of that information that sounds so good that would just move you over to that click, and you're going to make that purchase, and then 9 times out of 10 you are not happy with what you bought. And how do we know? Because we have this podcast called The Dumbest Shit That People Say about black hair, because people are spending oodles and oodles of money on their hair, and guess what? They still don't like it. So what is social media doing wrong if they can do all of these things with the cameras, but black women or women with Afro hair, men with Afro hair, they are still like, they're mad now. They're mad at the natural hair movement. All the stuff they sold, and people are like, the natural hair movement duped me. So what happened?
NAGA.
Who?
But make natural hair great again.
Oh, I'm speechless.
That's what, and let me just say this. In every piece of the world, there is, and let me just say this, I 2025, I'm pretty much want to just be able to tell you guys what is pseudo, what is a myth, what was a lie, who just made it up, and who knows why they did it. I can't.
It was a money grab. From a cosmetologist perspective, that natural hair movement was a money grab, because we were at the salon working.
Yeah.
And they were like, hairstylists ain't helping they don't help the customers out anyway. It was still a hairstyle. We're still trying to figure out how in the French toasted bologna sandwich were they able to successfully fragment natural hairstyling, pull it, extrapolate it out of cosmetology and barbering, and make it its own niche with no regulation, no education model, and consumers fell for it and will fight for it to the truth, especially those it's now their income. You know what I'm saying? So now they are, and they're really struggling to make those braids and that natural hairstyle, because now they see the relaxers are coming back. Not that they ever left, people just wasn't talking about it as much. Okay. And then the curly perm, hair coloring. So now chemicals are coming back. Afro Hair Science is now the new buzzword. It's not just
And even
hair
the
styling.
curl is making a resurgence in terms of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So we see the influencers in other areas in content creation with like food. They're just, the uptick is there with AI, but something about when it comes to this natural hair, those influencers, I mean, Mia Organics even accused an influencer as the reason to why her product was labeled to be taking people's hair out. She said that a company paid an influencer to do that. So why is that happening to Black influencers compared in hair care, particularly hair care, not makeup, but in hair care, whereas in other avenues, like I said, such as makeup and food and car repair, those influencers are just skyrocketing. But the hair influencers are just, companies don't even want to mess with them anymore.
Well, because I think that they know that there is going to be a change in the tide. And between L'Oreal and Unilever and Procter & Gamble and just other investment companies, and of course those in Silicon Valley, Bain Capital, they bought a trend. And so they're gonna be writing off a whole bunch of failures.
Wow. And speaking of failures, Trish said, nope, not yet. Trish, you still ain't following it? She said, I'm still kind of confused here. Here's an epic failure. Here you go. Speaking to your point. An Instagram star with 2 million followers couldn't sell 36 t-shirts. And a marketing expert says her case isn't rare. Can you imagine this company paid an Instagram content creator and influencer with 2 million followers, and she could not sell 36 t-shirts. So again, this influencer moniker or title, whatever you want to call it, it is a very real thing. These are not just people who are just influencing people. This is a job. It is a career. And there are people, depending, I don't know how old a lot of people obviously are, but there are people who want to grow up to do this for a living. They don't even want to go to college anymore. They want to be an influencer. So this is
and the demographic and the age of the demographic. I don't think they have any money. That's why they're on. That's why they're on social media. They're not. It's really. This is the equivalent of the real estate bubble.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is bursting.
Right. Now you do have some people who can be paid like for promotions, like the Silver Fox. They did a wonderful interview of him on CBS, one of those TV shows where he likes to dress. And so people just started reaching out to him to put stuff on and started paying him. Now, he is not necessarily an influencer. That is just what you call paid content. They just, I'm going to pay you to put this on. And he said, okay. And he said he makes way more money doing that than teaching, but he's actually a math teacher. And that whole Silver Fox community, those are all professional African-American men they are dedicated to the youth and to the elderly. So they go out and they volunteer for fashion shows. They actually have a mission. So that's a little bit different from an influencer.
But here we go again. He doesn't have to talk.
No.
He doesn't communicate.
No, he just
photos.
Yes.
And the girl the article you just put, I mean, those selling and putting things in front of people, and I unpacked it and it comes in this little pretty, oh, it smells so good, and I'm gonna put it in the the pay gate in the comments section, blah, 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 blah. They don't have, and I don't know if the average person and the average young man really is also buying what the Silver Fox has on. But the company that is paying him with giving him one, the clothes,
The hats,
the hats, and the stipend, they get the photographs. So they don't have to pay models anymore.
Wow. Are you following? We hope you guys are starting to see the dynamics of what's happening. There are things that are happening, before our very eyes that we don't even realize. Not that you need to have this at the forefront of your conscious. Our goal for this 137th episode about our influencers losing their influence is to show you the reality of why people do this and what's really happening around, behind, in front of the scenes when we start to consume and begin to make purchases and believe this stuff that we're hearing on social media. So our goal is just to really help navigate and be much of a resource, okay? So let's see. Trish says people in various business and careers fail every day. I just saw a video that showed a stylist going back to a 9-to-5, like other small businesses, close to you guys. Yeah, that does happen. Sometimes, you got to do what you got to do. You could try it and it just doesn't work out. Right, Cheryl?
Yeah. And and two, especially when this is also, we're coming on a generation that really actually are not people.
It's funny you would say that because I went to.
I don't like to talk to people. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And
I went to a supper club here in Cleveland. It was called Frederick's. And so we were invited to hear a jazz group band play. And so Kristen, Coos and her best friend Tay got there before us. And when we arrived, they proceeded to tell us that the hostess told them that they had to be out of the seat by 9 o'clock because this ain't no nightclub. We're talking about people being people. And now, mind you, they had amassed a nice little tab of about $60 bucks, 65, somewhere around that, 55, 60, somewhere close to $60, right? And so I just went to just kind of, say, oh, well, okay, you can't sit here. So we know you can't do that. So I went to the hostess and I said, oh, I just spoke with my nieces and they told me that they have to be out of the table by 9 o'clock. And the girl said, first of all, for your information, I told them they had to be out because somebody had a reservation. This ain't no nightclub. I was like, okay. I said, okay, no problem. Is there another table that we could possibly, reserve because we were invited here to watch the band? So the manager kind of came up and was like, yeah, we told her. Yeah, we told him. And I said, yes, sir. But is there another table that we could possibly, eat? And he was like, eat where? I was like, outside. See, it's that is what we're talking about. When we talk about, and I know that social media has a lot to do with that type of a behavior because when you look at their stuff on social media, this is a real foxy, schwanky place. They've got nice reviews. I mean, that it really has went to their head. And when you have that real exchange, which is what we're talking about, there's a gap, something's missing. So he did his best to try to clear it up. And of course, I allowed him to do it. Okay. He said, oh, of course, when the group guy came up to say, hey, Dosha, what's up? He was like, oh, you really do know that, they were paying that band, of course. And of course, the food it lacked luster. It wasn't what it was, right, it looked to be. And that's okay. It's okay. But when we see things, social media sometimes can give people a false sense of reality. We're 5-star rated hair salon. People are like, oh, y'all think y'all something because y'all got 5-star. Oh, we have some bad reviews too. Right? So Trish, to your point, Some things don't make it. Some small businesses don't make it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they try, and you know what? It just didn't work. And sometimes it's to their own demise. So what you say about the reality of people just trying and it just didn't work.
I really, they're probably first time business owners that maybe don't have a pedigree in the restaurant, hospitality, supper club, bar industry. But here we go again. Yeah.
And that could be, she says hair salon, and that could be the same for a hair salon, whatever the business is. Right?
Absolutely. But I will say, guys, that at the end of the day, when our people go to our salons and the clients are coming in, I want you guys may be you're in the black hair care industry, but you're not. That's not the business you're in. All service-based businesses are in the hospitality business.
I agree.
And you really got to understand that. And so that is the question that we were asking, talking about on Planet Pluto Pseudo last Thursday, right? You guys can compete all you want to, but there's somebody that's going to decide that they want to dominate, and it's over for you. That means that they're going to do everything you're not willing to do. And, and that is where the competition's going to start pulling themselves apart in the person, because I know every time I go into the Reverence Design Team salon, I've never gone in without someone speaking to me first. I didn't feel uncomfortable. I didn't have to go, hi. I didn't have to do that. They shine the lights like, shoo.
Right. And that's our goal here. Like people who are just scrolling across, we want to welcome everyone to hear and chime in. If you're watching this post live, share with us any information that you have or you feel, or even opinions about the current state of influencers. Because and another comment about your statement, Trish, is that it also could be that that business could just be, like they did their time and they're just going to close it. Like some people, it's a season or reason or lifetime. I don't think Sears is closed. It's been 65 years. I don't think the Reverend Design Team is going to be open for 65 years. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's no one to bequeath it to, and I won't be around that long. So sometimes, a business will just have run its course, and the doors are closed. It's been a fun time. So there are a lot of reasons why even influencers, they ran their course, the time is up, and that is just that. Okay. So with that being said, we just want to let you guys know we have a couple of more episodes before the year is out, but we also have some wonderful things that's going to be coming up. So on the last Thursday of the year, we're going to do some giveaways for you guys. So be on the lookout. Make sure y'all let everybody know now. Join the chat. We're going to have a conversation with Dr. Joy Scott, and it's all about health is wealth. This is our holiday special, and we're going to be giving away combs and books and so much more. So get ready to join us. And we have to say the continental U.S. only. We're sorry, everybody in other persons around the world, because it costs so much to ship this stuff. So if you're in the continental U.S., you can win a book or combs and so much more. We have some giveaways that we're going to be doing on that last Thursday. Also, we're going to have Mr. JR. That's right. JR Fogel is going to be joining us on Thursday, and he's going to be talking about the power of networking. So this one, again, you don't want to miss it. He is absolutely phenomenal. So he's a tech business person here in Cleveland. So he's going to be talking about networking, and this is great because cosmetologists and barbers, we don't necessarily do a lot of networking.
Yeah, well, speak for yourself.
We could. When I go to events, I don't see a lot of hair. I mean, I don't go to all of them, but y'all know what I'm saying.
But we're gonna pull you out. We're gonna pull you out.
Yeah.
And I really want you guys to I want the pseudo. I want you to land on Planet Pluto Pseudo. I want the dumbest shit people come over to Planet Pluto Pseudo on especially December 30th. Ask any health question. Dr. Joy is massively talented. She zooms in, got great ears, great nutritionist. If you want to get yourself together, ask any question. I think that also hairstylists don't do enough networking, and we don't take care of ourselves.
All right, so we're going to talk about that networking on this Thursday. And the last Thursday is going to be, again, Dr. Joy Scott. So this one is going to be good. And I know I'm going to have a whole bunch of health questions. I met her in person. Baby, let me just tell you. Oh, she shut me down. Okay, I just want that she shut me down. So if goodies is your thing, also don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. We have some wonderful giveaway by way of our books and combs and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we thank you guys so very much for being so supportive. Trish, you were the bomb.com. You know, you helped us out today. We always appreciate
Yes.
And girl, the struggle is real out here as an entrepreneur. So yeah, people do go back to a 9 to 5. I ain't too proud of it. If my business don't work, I'm gonna go get me a job too. But I bust my butt to make it work.
Absolutely.
But you know, that's sometimes
got great customers.
Yeah, sometimes it's just, you know, you get an E for effort out here in these streets. All right. Thank you so much again, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and of course, all of the wonderful people on Instagram. We appreciate you all very, very much. Don't forget that. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button on your way out. Help a sister out. We ain't no influencers, but we sure look like one, don't we? They like, y'all ain't no influencers. All right, guys, you know what we say when we're signing out, right? It's about a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, and for sure a whole lot of hair. But check it out. If you ain't got none, don't want none, can't grow it, you got some bald patches, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We say don't worry about that because all of that is beautiful too, and so are you. We'll be back next Monday talking about how to shop online. Now we're going to sell y'all something since y'all want to shop. We're going to put them links in the chat. All right, Trish, we got something to sell y'all when we come back on Monday. All right, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Good night, guys.
Be safe out there.
Sure, you ready for the chit chat tonight?
I'm ready.
Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming, get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips.